and welcome to Great Expectations. Women are so beautifully designed to carry, birth, and nurture a baby. But have we forgotten how powerful our bodies are? For some mums, there's not much choice in the kind of birth they have, but for many, the choice is very much theirs. To find out more about active birth, we have in studio midwife Henny de Beer, gynecologist and obstetrician Dr. Sarila Moodley, and conscious birth practitioner and pregnancy yoga teacher Theoni Paputsis. Welcome, ladies. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to start with you, Henny. Thank you for joining us once again on the show, friend of Great Expectations. What is an active birth?
The traditional definition is the physical activity of being active, upright, using gravity. I have seen the development more of an intellectual activeness. Our clients are investigating, are examining, are doing introspection, and they are looking at options rather than carrying on traditions.
Sarila, how different is an active birth from any other kind of birth, from any other normal birth?
In an active birth, the mum is the active participant. So the mum directs the route in which she wishes to follow. In a normal birth, it's usually the midwife or the obstetrician who is the main participant who directs the way or the path in which the birth will follow.
What does that mean, though, for like the mum to really take control?
Yes, so the mum can decide where firstly she wants to have the birth, if she wants to have it at home or if she wishes to have it in a clinic or in a hospital. The mum can decide how mobile she wants to be during the birth. Would she rather be on a bed or would she want to be walking? Would she rather sit in water? Does she want to have a water birth? So the mum is very much the main participant in an active birth. Is that right?
I agree with you, and that is really, as you've explained previously before we went on set, that it's part of the antenatal process. That is the relationship she built up with her caregiver, and she's never called to stick to a plan. There's no such thing as a birth plan, it's birth wishes, and it evolves as her pregnancy continues.
So it's about knowing that you've got the right to make the choice that you want to make for your body or for your birth or for your baby.
For sure.
Is a natural Caesar also considered an active birth?
Technically no, because a cesarean section is an intervention and a medical intervention done by medical professionals. But certain circumstances surrounding the Caesar can be followed. So if, for instance, she could have it in a theatre where the lights could be slightly dimmed, or she could have the type of music that she wants playing at the time when the baby is about to be born. So it could be made as natural as possible. Also, once the baby is delivered, there could be immediate skin-to-skin contact. So as soon as the cord is clamped and cut, the baby could be put onto her chest.
So where possible, they make the procedure more natural and more comfortable for the mother and for the baby.
For sure.
Okay. Theoni, what is the difference between a conscious birth and an active birth?
Well, an active birth is very similar to what Henny described, coined by Janet Velasquez, who is a South African, but it's about being physically active, about using your body in the actual birth, whereas conscious birth is active birth and it is more than that. It's about having an awareness. It's about having a meaningful experience from pregnancy, or right through pregnancy and birth, so that women feel like they're in control right from the start.
So you don't surrender your power to other people.
Yes.
Henny, what are common misconceptions that women have about natural births?
I think touching on that, it's a birth plan, i.e. if I do A, B will follow, and therefore C is the consequences. I think that is a misconception. I think if you're doing that, you're not opening yourself to what ifs, and therefore people are up for disappointment. And I think also that we've touched on this previously, that pain is such a negative concept in our society, and yet we see pain as an incredibly empowering experience. Virtually every birth, the client will say, I thought I was going to die. And then I realized I hadn't died, and I wonder why I hadn't died. And then I saw heaven, because then I birthed. And that process is such an empowering process, and our society has made it a negative, given it a negative connotation, and we're running away from that pain.
What are the benefits of having an active birth, especially for the baby?
That's a brilliant question, because that's where the natural Caesar comes in. That I have seen doctors that as the baby emerges from the cesarean scar, that they squeeze that baby, because, you know, pressure on the limbs enables the babies, the crossing of the brain, it enables the downgrading of certain reflexes that have to be suppressed and therefore move on to new reflexes. Amazing, that journey that baby goes through the pelvis. It has to twist, it has to turn, it has to be
All of that is
squeezed.
supposed to happen. It
The
has to-
lungs have to be cleared.
Wow.
And all of that is a beautiful process for that baby. And it's like that moth that comes out the cocoon. You know the story where the dad was trying to help this cocoon, the moth come out the cocoon, cut the cocoon, found that the moth then couldn't
fight.
fly because there wasn't that fluid squeezed into its wings. Our society is trying to stop the pain. The pain is part of that process.
And birth is supposed to be convenient. It's supposed to be, yeah, okay. Theoni, how does a mum prepare for an active birth? What does she have to do?
Well, definitely exercise, so walking, swimming, and then of course the pregnancy yoga, which I teach,
Yes.
because that enables women to get into different positions. If she wants to squat, to bring that head down through the pelvis onto the perineum with ease. So squatting is a great preparation.
It seems like it's something that you really have to be committed to. It's a process that you have to get committed to quite early in your pregnancy. Is that right?
You know, that is obviously the optimum, but
Yeah.
it's not a have to.
It's not a have
I've
to.
had moms
Okay.
who found me
Okay.
at 36 weeks.
Wow.
And we are still able to, we've got enough time to do the preparation, and it's not only about the physical preparation, it's the mental preparation, it's the emotional preparation. I'm going to become a mother of a human being, you know.
Fantastic. Cyrilla, how does, I'm sorry, what are the potential risks for an active birth for a mother?
So depending on the environment where she's having the active birth, she needs to be with a midwife whom she trusts completely. She needs to have a proper plan of action if anything goes wrong. What is the next step? So for instance, if she's at home and the midwife detects that there is a problem, where is the next hospital or clinic that they progress to? And she needs to also realize that failure to deliver normally or failure to continue with the active birth is not a failure on her part. It's just something that happens, and that the labor process itself is dynamic. Anything can happen at any time. And if any intervention needs to take place, it's not the end of the world. It doesn't mean that she has failed in any way.
So you have your plan, but also the
Be
birth has its own
open-minded.
plan. Be open-minded.
For sure.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Henny and Cyrilla. We'll see you later. As mums, we want our little ones to be strong and healthy. It's time now for our Pampers Monday Minute, and today we get practical with nappy changing.